Right, it's tribal time. This week it is Standard Tribal Wars and I'm playing Giants. So it's a Naya sort of ramp slash control deck. Trying to use the Adventure Giants as a bit of removal, bit of ramp, bit of a wrath, and then play them again as the big creatures to win the game. The other giants I've got are Crystalline Giant, just because it's a 3-drop that's pretty reasonable. Beginning of combat in your turn, choose a kind of counter at random. The Crystalline Giant doesn't have. From Flying, First Strike, Death Touch, Hexproof, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, Vigilance, and +1/+1. So basically just a thing to bridge the gap between the ramp and removal and the late game powerful stuff. But it can get pretty powerful if left alive on the battlefield for long enough. And then Tectonic Giant. Whenever it attacks or becomes a target with a spell, an opponent controls, either deal 3 damage to each opponent or exile the top 2 cards of your library, and you can choose one of them to play until the end of your next turn. So you ramp into one of those early. You can either use it to generate some card advantage, make use of your mana, or just start attacking for 6 every turn, depending on the situation. So the ramping consists. The other non-giant ramping consists of Wolfwillow Haven. Attach it to a land, and it attacks for another extra green. Extra green off a green card is not that useful. There's only the only green cards I have. I've only got a single green mana cost, but it does have the advantage of late game being a 2/2, which is far from amazing, but it's not bad for a ramp card. And then Tangle Florahedron, so either a land or a 2-mana Elvish Mystic. And then there's Nylea Keen-Eyed, makes creatures cost 1 less to cast, and pay 3 to reveal the top card of your library if this creature card put it into your hand. Otherwise you may put it in your graveyard. So again, a bit of ramp to get to the 7-mana giants, and also a place to dump your mana in the late game. For control elements, we've got Shatter the Sky as cast off-ish cards, 5 and 6. Just need something to. I mean, it's not as good as cast off obviously in the deck, but sometimes you just do need a board sweeper, and you need it on turn 3 or 4. So so we'll see whether I get flooded on too many wrath effects or not. But there we go. Banishing Light, just obviously solid. Get rid of anything problematic. To 3 mana. Shredded Sails. This is primarily here because of Embercleave. Wanted an instant speed answer to Embercleave, but there's also things like Great Henge. There's the Rose deck has a number of flying creatures that die to 4 damage. Obviously there's Crystalline Giant, I think, is the only creature in the deck that can get reach or flying, so and at worst it just cycles, which usually you can find a place to make use of that. And then Spikefield Hazard, take out Lotus Cobras and Tangle Florahedrons, I guess. Clean up the little things. These used to be shocks, so we'll see if I get screwed over by not being able to kill something with 2 toughness. But there's already the stomp to do that sort of thing, and definitely want to be able to keep hitting land drops for a while to get up to the 7 mana. And then speaking of land drops, the land base is just these pathways mostly, and a few temples, plus 4 basics to get with the Beanstalk Giant. Just plains and mountains for the basics, because if I've already got green, I don't generally need a second one very often. And then obviously we've got Florahedron and Spikefield Hazard, Tangled Veil is what it is, and Spikefield Cave to make sure I've got 26 lands in total. So let's see how this all goes. Okay then, we're here for round 1 versus Diamond Dust. I'm on the play, and it seems like an okay hand. Still not used to these double-sided lands, so I have to check which the other side is. So I've got both my all 3 my colours and some ramp. Am I likely to want Tangled Florahedron as a creature or a land? To turn to Florahedron, yeah, that would allow me on turn 3 to Beanstalk Giant plus Shredded Sails. This looks like rogues. As long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, rogues get +1/+0. Each opponent mills 2 cards. Opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, gets +2/+1 and has Death Touch. So I can kill the Enforcer with Spikefield Hazard and the Thought Thief with Shredding Sails, or Shredded Sails. And I can play Wolfwheel Haven as well. So yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I guess I have to play this as a red. Probably want to do this main phase as well. Never know what shenanigans a flash rogue deck can do. So this is 5, 6. So Fertile Footsteps plus Crystalline Giant. Don't really need any more green, so. Grab white. I probably don't want to run the Florahedron into any flash creatures, so no attacks. What do we get? No, nothing. It's going to die. On reflection, maybe after the Heartless Act it would have been fine to attack with the Tangled Florahedron. I think the only flash creature is 1 mana flash creature is Thieves Guild Enforcer, which will be fine, probably trading Florahedron for. Do I want to run the Beanstalk Giant into potential counter spell? No, I don't think that's necessary. I think I'll play Florahedron and then sack the Wolfwillow Haven to get 2-2. This can only be done at sorcery speed, I think. Well, only during your turn. So let's Slay the Wisp. What's this one to do? Whenever you cast another spell that has flash, you draw a card and each opponent loses 1 life. Okay. Another Slay the Wisp. So that kind of made me think it was Slither Wisp main phase to try and get a land and then still hold up 2, which might mean an Essence Scatter. So I'm trying to attack with a wolf, see if anything gets flashed in. Alright, I'm going to run out Crystalline Giant. I think possibly there's an Essence Scatter in the opponent's hand. Fairy Vandal. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put 1/1 counter on it. So, well, it's possible I should have just run the Beanstalk Giant out even if there was a counter spell, just because stopping the opponent from playing a flash creature and drawing 2 cards might have been worth it. See what's on top. No, thank you. So it was a drown in the lock. Makes no sense. So I kind of feel like I need to draw a board sweeper here and have it resolve to get back into this. That's not really a board sweeper. Just a 2/2. So yeah, I'm just dead here. Taking 5 in the air. think I keep this. Yeah. I'll play Temple of Triumph because I want to get a red source down to be able to cast these things. Yeah, it's alright. And Diamond put the card on the bottom. Don't want to play Tangle Thorahedron obviously because it's just going to die to Shatter the Sky. I don't want to play it as a creature, I mean. So I'll just play another Temple. Okay, I'm just going to Fertile Footsteps. Grab a mountain so I can still hold up Spikefield Hazard. Yeah, let's go Tectonic Giant. Possibly he's going to... no, I don't want to play that. I want to play the Tangled Veil. Possibly that Tectonic Giant's going to die at end of turn. Or right now. Oh no, just a Slither Wisp. Now it's going to die. I do get a trigger off it though. I guess I take the path away. Shredded Sails. Unfortunately, Slither Wisp does not have flying. So I'm just trying to decide here whether it's worth spending Shatter the Sky and just a Slither Wisp. I think it probably is. It's not really like I'm getting advantage by letting a bunch of other flash creatures come in, so... Okay. So I could Shredding Sails this for attacks to stop the mill from happening. Which I think I probably will do. I mean, I presume if Diamond Dust thinks it's relevant enough to play it main phase, then I suppose of course I could also just burn the Vandal. Yeah, alright, that works for me. I want to kill this before it gets too big to kill. Okay. Pretty fine. Burning 3. Drowning the lock for that. Nilia. Nylia. I don't remember how it's pronounced. Okay, I think I want to get Nilia down. Nylia. Well, there's no counter spells likely. And I think I also want to kill the Thought Thief now for the same reason. Another Fairy Vandal. And then a Castle Lockthwain can grow both of them. Crystalline Giant. So we've got 3, 7 mana. Yeah, let's just play the Beanstalk Giant and maybe be forced to try and race with it. Let's play. This is a land. I don't think it's very likely I'm going to be able to get an X1 with it at this point. And the extra mana does matter for Nylia. I think it's Nylia. Okay, again clearing out the hand and then activating the Lockthwain. So I think I kind of need a cast off at this point. Is that what it's called? The Realm Cloak Giant. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just try and get lucky. Nope. Putting that in the graveyard. I could also play a Crystalline Giant and get lucky and get flying to provide a blocker. Is there anything I can hit if I activate Nylia again? Don't think so. Crystalline Giant only costs 2, so I might as well just activate this again. Bone Crusher Giants. Yeah, I can't kill any of the flyers, so I think I do need to play the Crystalline Giant and get lucky on getting flying. Nope, that's Death Touch. being swarmed by fairies.
I smell the blood of...
Holy crap!
Boy.
And it's round 2. I'm on the draw. This is Pain Shiu. And seems like an alright hand. No ramp, but some control stuff and some removal rather, and a sweeper for later. That went to the top. Right, I guess I go red. These two can be white and this can be green. And that gives me the double white I need for the cast off. Lots of colours. And that went to the bottom. I'll say it. So if I want to stomp this, I probably want to do it now. Or I could just try and hold off until I get to the cast off. No, I think I'll just stomp it. Nymph. Is this nymph? Oh, it's nymphs. Okay. Guess I'll go Crystalline Giant. Don't want to play the Florahedron as a creature, obviously, because I've got a couple of board sweepers in my hand. So it's just a +1/+1 counter there. Next turn I can play this as a land, play the Bone Crusher Giant, and then turn after that I can cast off if necessary. Alright, I'll respect it. If you end step, you may exile an enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Ooh, a Beanstalk Giant. Let's just see what my Crystalline Giant gets. Lifelink. Attack. If it gets double blocked, I can Shredded Sails, but it's not surprising that it doesn't. So it's got Fertile. Mountain, I guess, and play this as a light source. And then either, well, I can Shredded Sail as the Ephemia, or I can just cycle it maybe. Planning on casting off the all the creatures anyway. All temples all the time. Okay. Turn my 4/4 into a 1/1. Yeah, I'm fine taking 5. call this? Another cast off. Nylia. Got reach. Not sure how relevant that's going to be. Let's just clear up the board a bit. And then play this as a land. Devil and Malady scribes to the bottom. Okay, and that goes with Crystalline Giant. So let's see. Got 6 mana. I could Nylia plus play the Bone Crusher Giant. Fertile Footsteps, then play Nylia. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Let's go for the play that gives me some more mana. So we'll start playing these even bigger stuff. Double white, double red. Let's go for whites. Let's got all these Realm Cloak Giants. Lampard of Death's Vigil. Just sacrifice a creature to drain 1. Mill 3 cards and you may exile a creature or enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black summon a creature token. And then when it goes to its final form, gain life and scry for the number of zombies. I think I just play a Beanstalk Giant. I mean, I don't necessarily want to run creatures out before I shatter the sky, but I've got 3 board sweepers, so I'm not sure I'll be able to make use of all 3 of them. That scry went on top. As long as it's not your turn, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Things we've seen in the grave get put into the graveyard. Omen of the Sea makes sense. Just a bunch more temples, and that's another Timorous Call of the Dead. So 5 for another cast off, and then I can play a Bone Crusher Giant. Get in for 7. That clears out all the zombies, so the Timorous final chapter won't do anything, so that seems alright. The opponent packs it in. Seems like an acceptable hand. bit of interaction into the crystalline giant to tide things over until they get to the cast off. Scry went to the bottom. Branch loft pathway. So that would put me up to five lands essentially with the Beanstalk Giant, which would be the certain right amount for MacLeod Giant. But green and white are sort of the colours I need the least. Yeah, I'm just going to bottom it. I'm sure I'll get to a fifth land before I need it. Oh, there you go. Let's go to mountain. And then I'll probably cycle the Shredded Sails end of turn, unless there's a compelling stomp target. Temple of Malice went to the top. Yeah, I don't really feel the need to... Well, I was going to say I don't really feel the need to destroy it to kill this pre-cast off, but the Bone Crusher Giant can't even do that anyway, so I'll just cycle the Shredded Sails. Okay, Banishing Lights. Footstep into another mountain. Timerac Calls the Dead. So I'll say that Life's Bounty got exiled. And also revealed Dead Weight. Temple of Mystery, scry to the top. And I'll just go for the Tectonic Giant. Yeah. So I'll probably cast off next turn. Just clear out the zombies. So there's no more scrying. So I want to play out a giant now. And I guess I want triple white more than I want double green. In case I want to Banishing Light plus cast off in a turn somewhere down the line. The Timerac Calls the Dead and Maya's Grasp got Dried of the Elysian Grove. Forgot that's also a nymph for some reason. I guess this probably means like another Deadweight or a Maya's Grasp. Maya's Grasp is -3, isn't it? So probably a Maya's Grasp. If I block, my giant will die, so I think I'll just take 3. Okay. I guess I'll exile. Try and find... I was going to say try and find another land. Spikefield has it is. Another tectonic giant is also kind of appealing. But no, I've got tons of things I can do. I don't need another tectonic giant. Another Maya's grasp. So this is until the end of your next turn. I think I'll just do 3 damage. So play that, because I know that's going to happen. Let's just get these zombies out of here. Femia the Cacophony. Yes, the exile enchantment cards create 2/2. And the graveyard is fairly well stocked with enchantment cards. So maybe I stomp the Athenia and play a Crystalline Giant. Yeah, see what the Temple of Abandon shows me. Verge pathway. No, I think I'm fine without that land. So let's wolf it up. Stomp Athenia. And then play the Crystalline Giant. Let's see what exciting counter I get. Remember the sea gets flashed in. Two cards went to the bottom from the Omen. Death Touch. Little flaming skull. Temple of Deceit scribe to the bottom. Gride of the Elysian Grove. Play additional land, every basic land type. Suppose this represents a deadweight. No, I think I want to keep the giant around. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I guess I'll just play a big giant from exile. Hexproof. Guess I'll be fine trading off the 1/1 for the Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Opponent would not. vigilance. I definitely want to attack with the Beanstalk Giant. Do I want to trade off the Crystalline Giant for a 2-2? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fine. That's gonna be playing a bunch of big giants for the rest of the game probably. So a zombie trading with a Crystalline Giant, the mini Crystalline Giant's not going to, at least means it's not trumping a 7-7 later on in the game. Or 2-3. Ooh, I just clicked through my turn there, that was stupid. Templar just seed to grow to the top. And just a Myers Grass to shrink the Beanstalk Giant. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, let's just play another 7-7. Must be the Omen of the Sea getting sacrificed. And they both went bottom. And the opponent decided that's enough. Okay, on to round 3. I am on the play versus Ice BR. And this looks like a mulligan. Just no second land. Okay, well this doesn't seem like a mulligan. Question is what to put back. Maybe just the shredded sails. Rely on the realm, the cast off to clean up any problems. So we've got red, white, and red, green. Play green so I can play the Wolfwiller Haven next turn. So if I want to get to cast off, I need double white. But I'll use both my red sources as well. So I guess just play a white source now and then see how my hand develops as to whether I need the red or a second white more. So something else rampy. Guess I'll play the Tangled Veil just to continue holding off on making a decision with the Needle Verge pathway. And play the Crystalline Giant. Death Touch I got. To the attack. Flying. Do I want to cast off now. It's very tempting. Looking at 6 mana next turn potentially from the opponent. I think I'll hold off for one turn. One more turn. Just play out a couple of Wolfwillow Havens. The Gargaroth. Okay, well. I don't mind blowing that up. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 3 for the Fertile Footsteps, but then I get back up to 5. Make sure not to use my white mana. And I got Trample. The Stampede. So this is the look at the top 5 cards of your library. Reveal any number of creature cards from among them and put the revealed cards into your hand. So it's Garrick's Harbinger and Questing Beast. Two, 4, 6, 7, 8. Let's play the MacLeod Giant. The Beast. Let's see what counter I get. Menace. So definitely attack with that. Do I want to trade off the MacLeod Giant for the Questing Beast? I think not yet. So I could play Nylea. She won't quite be a creature. But then when I play Beanstalk Giant she will. Oh. Go for a cycle on Shredded Sail, see what I draw. Ooh, Tectonic Giant. Spell down the second red to play it. Alright, so henge, so shredded sails would have had some use. There's Garrick's Harbinger. There's a 5/4. So I'll play Beanstalk Giant. That'll make neither a creature. So with everything. So if this is the block, the stomp can will kill. Do that before they can untap. I think this will work. This is green, Warfield Haven on turn 2, and then Beanstalk Giant on turn 3, oh, Fertile Footsteps on turn 3. Try and get up to the Realmcloud, the cast off again. Hey, and I even drew a mountain so I can safely get a second white source with the Fertile Footsteps and still have access to red. Gilded Goose. Haven't seen that art before. Migratory Great Horn. Whenever it mutates, search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped. Okay. So I could just play the tapped land and Fertile Footsteps, or I could play Wolfwheel Haven and the Fertile Footsteps. That's probably better. Get a second white. Harbinger. And a Heart's Desire. Let's see, so I've got 6 mana. I could play the Beanstalk Giant. Or I could play double Crystalline Giant. Get both of those to trigger. Play the tap land. don't want to cast off this turn, I don't think, because I'd quite like to get that Love-Struck Beast with it as well. Yeah, I mean the Beanstalk Giant's not that great. I mean, it would be a 5/5, which is fine, but I prefer get the Crystalline Giants out now, get them an extra, get them both to trigger. We've got Reach and Death Touch. So I'll lead the Stampede. Questing Beast and Gilded Goose. What do we get? Death Touch Reason, Death Touch Menace. I'll just attack with the Death Touch Menace guy. Yeah, and that goes through, not very surprisingly. Scry, and then I'll play a Beanstalk Giant. Shredded Sails. Well, it doesn't... As it stands, all it does is kills one of these two, but I've already got the cast off to do that. But I think I will keep it in case of a Great Henge. I mean, I can just cycle it at worst, obviously. But if I cast off but leave a Great Henge behind, that could certainly be a pathway to losing. Okay, another mutation. Seems like the opponent is probably sensing the cast off, which is... I mean, I haven't exactly been hiding it, but... Okay, Love-Struck Beast coming in there. So I cast off, get in for 13, and then I'm in a good position to win. Yeah, and that's enough for the opponent. Alright, here we are back with the deck. I guess I could sum up the performance as 5 mana Plague Wind is a pretty good card. Not good enough to go 3-0, obviously, but still pretty nice. In general, though, I'm pretty happy with the way the deck worked. There was a little bit of awkwardness with getting double red and double white some of the time, especially with these the lands that have to choose which colour. Dual lands, you have to choose which colour you want, but it worked out reasonably well. Spikefield Hazard was a little bit awkward against the Slither-Wisp. Not being able to kill the 2 toughness creature. And I never got to face MacLeod to make use of the Shredded Sails, but they were never really bad. Obviously, there's a limit to how bad a cycling card can ever really be. I did get kind of flooded with Wrath effects, but obviously it didn't cost me the gains, and I could have made use of a Wrath effect at the end of the match against Rogue, so take that for what you will. So my only kind of things I'm thinking of is maybe cut down one Shatter Sky or one Spikefield Hazard for another Banishing Light, just as a catch-all. Be able to take out something like a Slither-Wisp, like I mentioned. But yeah, that went alright. Thank you very much for watching.
These little men were never read their giant rights and are therefore free-fi to foe home.